Welcome to the channel and welcome to another Mordianglory battle report. Today we have 2,000 points of Imperial Guard, it's always Imperial Guard, taking on 2,000 points of the vile Drukari.
I did try doing a Death Guard battle report, but no one watched it.
No one watched it, so Death Guard's got, no, I'm joking, it's not. So we've got 2,000 points
on
of
eBay.
Mordianglory's ex-army, 200% markup.
Giveaway.
So yeah, we're doing 2,000 points of Guard versus Drukhari today, and it's going to be a bit of a slugfest. We've got two mechanized forces ready to take each other on. It's going to be Darklands versus Demolisher Cannon. Let's see what we're doing today. And here we have 2,000 points of Imperial Guard, all mechanized and armored goodness, ready to lay down the smackdown on these tricksy, perfidious Elder. So let's take a look at what we've got in today's list. So it's all going to be in one detachment, and it's going to be in a battalion detachment. That's right, you can squeeze a lot into a battalion if you're playing as the Guard. Now the first thing we're going to take a look at is the HQ choices. Now we have 3 tank commanders. Each one of these tank commanders has got a Demolisher Cannon, triple heavy flamer, and I had a few points left over, so we've put a heavy stubber on the top of this one. We've then got 2 Manticores. That's right, bringing the Manticores back. I know I've been having a bit of a love affair with Basilisk recently, but a lot of people have been saying to me that they've been enjoying their Manticores again, so I thought, you know what? I've got a couple of Manticores from my Steel Legion. Let's try them out. So, a couple of Manticores there. We've then got the core of the force, the mechanized infantry. And here we have 6 squads of mechanized infantry. This is 6 infantry squads inside 6 chimeras. Each one of these chimeras is rocking double heavy flamer. Don't worry about the heavy bolts in the turret. They've not got any ammo in today. Look at the turret weapons. We've got double heavy flamers on each one of those. And then, of course, they come with their las gun arrays as well. We've then got 6 squads of infantry. Every single one of these squads has got a sergeant with a bolter and a power sword. And then we've also got a plasma gun in every single squad. And we've then got 3 squads with heavy bolters and 3 squads with missile launchers. Those classic Armageddon Steel Legion missile launchers. I think these are probably my favourite Guard missile launcher models. They just look really, really cool. A bit like a classic RPG style rocket launcher. We've then got another heavy support choice here. We've just got a little cheeky squad of mortars. And then we have got 3 officers. We've got 3 platoon commanders. And each one of those is just rocking some various upgrades like bolt pistols and stuff like that. All stuff that they just get free now as part of their data sheets. And that is 2,000 points on the nose. We've got 11 vehicles, 60 infantry, some mortars, and 3 officers. And hopefully this mechanized might, these armored treads, will crush the enemies of the Emperor. What I cannot crush with words, I will crush with the tanks of the Imperial Guard. Now, a couple of extra details here. I have not got a relic or a warlord trait, but I have spent 2 CP pre-game to take 2 tank aces, and I have gone for full payload on both of these manticores, which means both of these manticores will be doing a flat damage 3 with each one of their shots, which is pretty nice. And then in terms of starting CP, that means I'm going to start with 4 because I've taken 2 tank aces. I've not taken a relic in this because I'm not playing Cajun, so no need for Gatekeeper or anything like that. And it all fits inside 1 battalion, which means I get my CP back for the battalion cost. So overall, we will be starting with 4 CP, and we've just got those 2 tank cases. In terms of secondaries for this list, I've decided that I'm going to take Inflexible Command, because that's a really good one to take now that they've FAQ'd it. I'm also going to take Boots on the Ground, because I'm a big fan of the old Boots on the Ground. And then for my 4th one, I think I'm going to take Special Orders, because I think that will allow me, if I'm lucky, to be able to get 10 points on that. If I can do it on 3 objectives, I should be able to get 10 points, which would be really nice. So it's a 6 objective game as well, so it's always good to take Special Orders when you're on a 6 objective game. Hopefully I'll be able to pull that off with my various mechanized infantry squads. So those are my 3 secondaries for today. That's all my pre-game stuff. Now let's take a look at the Dark Elder. And the regiment trait today for the Steel Legion is going to be Gunnery Expert and Spotter Details. So here we have 2,000 points of Drukari. are ready to take on the Armageddon Steel Legion today. Bit of a mechanized force. Johnny's got lots of planes and transports and also some fast-moving outriders. So do you want to take us through what you've got in this army list today, Scholar?
Right, so starting off, we've got the Warlord, who is Drozar. This is obviously my little custom build.
Nice.
And he is using I'm paying the CP for the Warlord trait.
Okay.
So he rerolls all hits and wounds.
Excellent.
Then I have a normal succubus just with a blast pistol.
Very good.
And then I have a succubus with the glaive, and she's been upgraded to have the triptych whip and precision blows. So essentially she's got, I think, 10, 11 attacks. And any 6s to hit automatically do 3 mortal wounds.
Very nice.
That's my HQs. Then in terms of, I've got 3 platoons here. One is a platoon.
A platoon?
No, yeah.
A patrol, I believe you mean.
Yeah.
I have platoons, you have patrols.
Sorry, yeah. I'm in the guard mode.
He's in the guard battle bunker. We started talking about platoons and bayonets and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. All these guys have bayonets.
Sorry,
so
carry on.
I've got 3 patrols. Yeah, excuse me, if I may continue. So I've got 3 patrols here. Now, normally, your OG viewers will have seen me sort of develop and build this army over time, and it's always been pure witches. But, I use this army at tournaments fairly frequently in terms of the tournaments that I go to. And recently it's just, over the course of 8th and 9th edition, got less and less effective, if I must be honest. So I've thrown in some Cabalites there. We had these guys, me and Tim had an old Drukhari army back in the day from when we were like teenagers. Had about 40 odd Cabalite warriors in a shoebox. So I threw on some, more modern parts, few like splinter rifles and heads and stuff like that. Sprayed them up, painted them up. And so they are obsidian rows. And what that'll do is it'll give all of my heavy weapons, rapid fire weapons, assault weapons in that detachment an extra 6 inches of range. And it also means I can reroll 1 wound roll per shooting.
Per unit, per shooting phase.
Yeah, per shooting phase. Which, if I take these flyers in that patrol, that ups the potential of those flyers. Because I've got 3 squads. I was tempted to take a 10-man squad, because then you can take more Dark Lancers, blah, blah, blah. Maybe make them Trueborn, but that allows me to take all 3 raiders with their Dark Lancers, also getting that reroll to wound. So that is a platoon there. Drozar's leading it, 3 Cabalite squads, 3 raiders, 2 flyers.
Very nice.
My second platoon is obviously led by one of the succubi. It's got 2 squads of witches, 5-men squads. They've got blast pistols and hydra gauntlets. One of those platoons, patrols, come on, has a venom.
If you want to join the guard, man, it's fine. I've got the mordians. We can do a guard v guard battle for it.
We're getting there, aren't we? That's just a splinter cannon and splinter rifle. It's not got the double cannon.
Okay.
Then the other platoon has the same layout of witches. It's got 2 squads of 2
Clawed
Fiends and a Beastmaster. The Beastmaster's rocking my 4th command point, which is to make him have an artifact from the Dark City, which is the Artemis Vitae or whatever it's called, but basically it lets me up my power from pain ability across the army for 1 round, by 1 turn, or 1 level for 1 turn, if it hits. And then one of the platoons also has 2 fast attack choices. It has the jet bikes, and these guys have 3 blasters in each. They've got 3 grav talons in each. There's 9 men in each. And that's the army basically.
Nice.
Oh, one of these guys has a splinter cannon, and the one with the white gun has a splinter cannon, and this one just has twin splinter rifle.
Okay, fair enough.
5-point shot.
So that is 2,000 points. First time we're seeing the retro glam rock disco ball Cabalites out, but otherwise it's lots of witches and raiders and bikes and all that kind of good stuff. So looking good, Johnny. And the secondaries for the Dark Elder today are going to be Bring It Down, Raise the Banners, and Herd the Prey. The combat drugs for today are fairly simple. The Beastmaster and the bikes are going to have +1 toughness as their combat drug, and the witches and the succubuses are going to have +1 attack as their combat drugs. And for the Drukhari obsessions, all the witches are going to be Cursed Blade, and the Cabalites are going to be Obsidian Rose. So here we have the field of battle before deployment. The Imperial Guard and Dark Elder are going to be fighting over this blasted and abandoned cityscape. And the mission today is going to be recover the relics. Clearly there are some important trinkets that the Dark Elder wish to collect and that the Imperium wish to protect in this city. So in this mission it is hold 1 victory point for 4 points, hold 2 victory points for 8 points, hold more than the enemy and you get an additional 4 points for a potential of 12 primary points a turn. And then in order to score the bonus primary, or also known as the tertiary points, you need to get a victory point for each enemy unit that was destroyed in that battle round. Very simple, to a maximum of 3. So if you kill an enemy unit, you get a victory point. You kill 2 enemy units, you get 2 victory points. You kill 3 enemy units, you get 3 victory points. You kill 4 enemy units, you still only get 3 victory points. It caps out at 3. So there we go. That is the mission. That is the battlefield. In terms of deployment zones, we're going to have one person deploy over here, and we're going to have another person deploy over here. So there's going to be quite a lot of no man's land today. Quite a big zone in the middle. Now, normally the Guard love a big zone in the middle, but what you've got to remember is today I'm bringing a lot of short-range firepower. And so it's going to be kind of interesting having this big no man's land in the middle. We'll see how both players can adapt around it. In terms of terrain traits, cover it very quickly. These more destroyed sort of ruins here that aren't as tall, these are going to be dense terrain. That means it's -1 to shoot through it, -2 to move through it. So we've got one there and one there in the middle zone. That provides a little bit, or if not line of sight blocking, it certainly provides a little bit of -1 to shoot through, which is always good for, well, that's good for both sides, really. We're both quite shooty. Helps balance the game a little bit. And then we've got these 6 big ruins here. One here, 2 in each player's deployment zone, 2 in the middle, another 2 there. Those are going to be obscuring terrain. That means you cannot see through it at all unless you are on the base, and the base is the main plastic bit there, the main platform that you can see there. The other 2 small ruins that you see, one here and one over here, these are just going to be normal line of sight blocking. That means if you can see through it, true line of sight blocking, say, that means if you can see through over this wall, you can see it. They will provide light cover though, if you're touching the wall or you're on the base there. So there we go. A little bit of cover everywhere. Good, nice bit of dense terrain. We've got 2 armies here that want to go up close and personal. Let's see what the battlefield looked like after deployment and once we've seen who goes first. So here we have the battlefield after deployment. An iron line of panzers, the Imperial mechanized forces ready to roll out and burn the Xenos scum to death. On the right flank, we have a Demolisher, an Armoured Fist platoon made up of 2 Chimeras and a couple of infantry squads, and then we have a Manticore. In the centre, we have 2 Demolishers, a Manticore, the Mortars, and another 2 Chimeras moving out. And then on the left flank, we've just got 2 Chimeras. In each one of these Chimeras, we've got a Heavy Bolter squad here, Missile Launcher and Platoon Commander. We've got a Missile Launcher, Heavy Bolter, and then on this side, we've got a Platoon Commander, Missile Launcher, and Heavy Bolter infantry squad in each one of those. So you know exactly what kind of squad is in each transport. Moving over here, we have the Drukari, a solid right flank for the Drukhari here. 2 planes, 2 raiders, and a big squad of bikes. These are the Witch Raiders as well. Everything starting fully mounted up for the Drukhari. We then have got a still very formidable, although slightly reduced centre. And there you've got the Cabalite Raider. You can tell that's the Cabalite one because of the slightly darker colour scheme. And then you have got the Venom here.
And that has Cabalites in as well.
And has Cabalites in as well. You've got the Venom here. And then you have got the bikes here. And then, like the Guard, a slightly reduced left flank. Not like in the Greek tradition, where the left flank was the point of honour. In this case, the left flank is the refused flank. So we have got a unit of Clawed Fiends. Overall, that is the battlefield. You can see nice bit of terrain in the middle. But you can sort of hide if you go down the centre, or you can, go down the flanks, but it's going to be a bit of -1.
In terms of characters, I've got Succubi, and then Drozar, and then Drozar's backup whip.
Okay, there you go. There we go. So now the last thing to do is to see who gets first turn. So here we have the dice tray of Ultimate Destiny. Johnny would like me to go first because then I can't use my full bombardment capabilities. We shall see if that is the case. Mordianglorytv is going first, getting a 2. Yay! I don't know if that's a good thing. Maybe you'll keep rolling ones.
Get them out of the way.
Get them out of the way early. All right, so we are going to be back with Guard turn 1. So movement phase, turn 1 for the Imperial Guard. We've gone aggressive. We've gone all in. We're not messing around. If they tie us up in combat, so be it. What we're going to do here is we've moved forward with all the chimeras as far forward as they can whilst being able to hug the dense terrain. And then just in case Johnny tries to get some sneaky angles on me, I have popped smoke with all of those. I know you technically do that in the shooting phase, but we're just doing... You can pop smoke in advance. It's really cool. In fact, old school smoke launchers, I would say, are better than the new ones because the new ones you have to spend a CP. You can do it reactionary, so I might have wasted all my smoke here, but at least I can do it on more than one vehicle at once because it's not a stratagem. So I quite like old school Guard smoke. So all these ones, a little smoke marker, have popped it. I've also moved forward one of my demolishers so that to maintain a flexible command. I've jumped out with one of the infantry squads. This was done before, obviously, the Chimeras moved. And they are going to do special orders on that objective there. And obviously there's a platoon commander nestled in there, nice and safe. And that is my movement. Now my shooting is going to be relatively quick and my assault phase is going to be non-existent. So should be a pretty quick turn for the Guard. Let's go into their shooting phase. So the first Manticore is going to fire its missile straight onto those Dark Elder Witches. Now Johnny has declared that he... Johnny is going to top tier content here. We don't add the sound effects in afterwards. We do it live whilst we're playing the game. So Johnny has declared he's going to lightning, fast reflex, whatever the equivalent is. Then might want to hit. That's fair enough. That's what I expected him to do. So we're now going to see how many shots the Manticore gets. Now it's going to get a minimum of 3, but not per dice, just a minimum of 3 in total. Okay, so it's got a 1 and a 2. Now, I can use my regiment trait to reroll one of those dice, not both. Now, this is why I prefer Basilisk, because it's a lot more reliable. So I'm obviously going to reroll the 1 into a 6. So that is 8 shots, and we'll get those dice together, and we'll see what the results is. So for orders, this tank commander is going to tell the Manticore to reroll ones to hit, and this tank commander is going to tell this one reroll ones to hit, because there's literally nothing else that they can do, and then this platoon commander is going to tell... the mortars to reroll ones to hit as well. So now we've got the 8 shots from that Manticore. So we're going to be hitting on 5s, rerolling ones. Now Johnny has declared he's going to spend his last 2 CP already burning through them. And that is to do Hyperstim Backlash, I believe it's called, which allows him to double the effectiveness of one of his combat drugs, which means that those bikes are now toughness 6, not toughness 5. Pretty tasty. So I'll be wounding on 3s rather than 2s. So 5s followed by 3s. So I've got 2 Hammer of the Emperors, which has invalidated that stratagem that Jonathan just spent. And then I've got 2 rerolls here. And that's it. So I've got 2 wounds. And then they're going to be -2, which means you'll be on a 6-up because you've got a 4-up save base. Nope. And it's damage 3, so just 2 bikes popped. Not too bad from the first Manticore volley. So the next Manticore is going to fire its rocket. There we go, into them. So that's 2 Manticores. I thought, concentrating fire is the best policy. I know I could go onto the target, but Johnny, because he spent his CP, but I figured concentrate fire and see how it does. So we've got 2d6 shots from that Manticore. That's double 4. We'll just keep that. We won't mess around with trying to, be greedy and get more shots there. And then we will be hitting on 5s. Oh, that's pretty good. That's a taste. That's a spicy meatball. That is. So those are
1s and 2s. Praise the gods. Come on.
So those auto wound.
No.
And then I got 2 fails there. There you go. So it's somewhat balanced out to 4 wounds. Now these will be 6-ups. Nope. So that's 4 more there. You should have passed at least one of those by now. And that is the second Manticore. So not a bad showing for the Manticores. They're so swingy. So sometimes you fall in love with them and sometimes you very much despise them. I think Jonathan right now is in the latter camp. So now we're going to fire with the mortars, bring down the steel rain, and we're going to spend 1 CP for concentrated fire, which means I get +1 to hit, +1 to wound. We've measured it. They are in range. Sadly, I don't have any little mortar shells that I can do the travel time with on the camera. But I should have probably fired these first, because that would have meant I would have got a minimum of 3 shots from each one of these mortars. But as I didn't fire them first... Yeah, exactly. C'est la vie. So there we go. Number of shots here is 12. That's pretty good. So we'll get those dice together and we'll roll that out. So here we have the mortar shells, and these are going to be hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s because of my CP. Got a few more Hammer of the Emperors. So we've got those ones. We've got a single reroll. That doesn't hit. And then these ones miss. And then we've got rolling to wound, wounding on 4s. A couple more wounds. Now these are 6 wounds at 0 AP. So you will get your full save here, and these are 1 damage each. Yeah, +1 to wound because of my stratagem. +1 to hit, +1 to wound. 1 CP. So that's 2 of the 6 saves that you need to roll. So you need to roll 4 more dice. John's like, no, I'm just rolling. I've showed you how many dice I'm rolling.
Roll 1 bag at a time.
Yeah. That guy lives. And so you take 1 death and 1 wound. So we'll get you a little wound marker for that, and then we're good to go. All right. So that is the Imperial Guard turn. That is it. So we will be back with the Dark Elder movement phase. So like water flowing around rock, the Dark Elder have moved into an encircling pattern around the Imperial Panzer line. Big unit of bikes moving forward here, trying to get some flank shots and maybe even a cheeky charge. And then we have got the 2 raiders full of witches moving forward as well. Got a unit of witches which has jumped out and raised a banner here. We've got a unit of Cabalites which have jumped out and raised a banner here. The 2 planes are, doing the classic box formation, flying around, shooting from the back, having a great time. And then over here, we've had a flanking maneuver from the Cabalites and also the Clawed Fiends, who are looking to get up close and personal with those chimeras. Such is life. We are aware of the Dark Elder's ability to get up close and personal turn 1. There's little we can do about it, so we figured we'd go aggressive. But there we go. The Dark Elder have raised 3 banners. And there we go. So, if I missed anything, Johnny, or do you think that's everything?
No, that's it. I'm just, I'm in 2 minds about my strategy. A big part of me wants to sort of hold back and dance at the back, because Tim's got only flamers and short range and so on and so forth. And I took most of my secondary to sort of keep Tim out of my lines. But I feel like an initial push, maybe like a crashing tsunami and then, the ebb.
Got a sally forth for retreating back into the fortress.
Indeed. It's going to be dancing in and out.
Nice.
So
I think we're going on to the that's your movement. You of course have no psychic, and so we'll be back with your shooting phase. So the first lances of dark light come flying out. We've got 3 blasters going into this tank commander. It will be -1 to hit. Let's see how they do. A couple of hits. A couple of them have got through the primitive Monkey smoke.
And then 4s.
It'll be 4s again.
And got to reroll 1 wound.
No,
yes, I can, because that's where I've got the Cabalites.
Isn't that for them?
They're my blasters.
Yeah, they're your blasters.
Right,
okay.
Sorry, so I thought it was fine. My Dark Lanterns, they will be going there as well.
Yeah, so it's -4. It becomes -3, so it becomes a 5 up. Nope. Damar. Do I want to use a CP? I will use a CP reroll there. Nope, failed. And it is 2 damage.
I think it's 2 plus. I think it's just a flat 2.
Flat 2. Okay, so we'll double check the damage, and then we're back with an expert shooting. We then have a few splinter rounds that are able to see into this heavy bolt team. So we're looking at about 6 splinter rifle shots, 2 hits, and then 1 wound. I'll take it on a guy that's just poking his little bum onto the light cover for a 4 up. Nope, so I'm going to lose 1 of my guardsmen. All right, we'll be back in a moment with these Dark Lances. So now we have the first of the Raider Dark Lances going in against the tank commander, needing a 4 to hit. They've got the hit. Needing a 4 to wound. They've got... Will the Imperial Guard get the save? No, another 1. Okay.
D3 plus 3.
D3 plus 3, and that is going to be 4 damage.
Not rolling high, but it's okay.
Next Dark Lance coming in from this Raider into the tank commander. Let's see what Johnny can get. It is a 2. Now, nothing you can do about that one. Okay, fair enough.
I've got my blast pistols and so on.
Blast pistols, you want to go straight into those?
Yeah, so it's 2 witch squads, so it's 2 blast pistols, 2 grenades, and 3 splinter pistols.
And the only thing they're really in range of is this one chimera here.
So the 2 blast pistols, I'll just do them all at the same time. 1 hit.
Nope, -1 to hit because of smoke.
Yeah, okay. Grenades, 2d6.
So 9 shots. Do you want a moment to get this together, or have you got them to hand?
Fine, I'm ready.
He's organised.
So that's 3 wounds.
3 hits. You have
yeah. Sorry.
And 2 wounds. Okay, so we've got 3 hits, 2 wounds. Okay, I'm going to roll my saves now. Failed both of them, even though I'm in contempt. So that's 2 damage, is it?
Yeah.
And then we've got 6 splinter pistols.
These are just,
They are what they are.
Hey!
A couple of wounds. I failed both. Oh my god! Look at that! I've failed every single save so far.
Man. Your rolling has been bullshit for several games in a row.
It's not. I've lost every battle report in a month.
That was my time.
It's just like every battle report is your time now, is it? There we go.
It should be.
All right, so that was very lucky. Hopefully my dice saves will come around a little bit, but that is the shooting over there, and we'll have a little look at some other Drukhari shooting in just a moment. So we're going to start off with the lone blaster in this Dark Elder bike squad, and it's going to go into the Chimera. That is a hit, even though I popped smoke. Now it's a 3 to wound, and it is a wound. Now I will get a 6 up save. Nope, so it's D6 damage, and it's 2 damage. I'm not making saves, but you're not doing...
Yeah.
So that's 2 damage so far. Do you know what you're doing next, or do you want to have a little moment?
Yeah, Dark Lance, same target.
Going to the next one, that's a hit. That's a wound. And that is a save. Nice. Okay, he's finally got one.
Well, I'll just look at the missiles.
Okay, so John's going to decide what missiles he wants to do, but I believe he's probably going to concentrate fire onto that Chimera. So the first plane is going to fire its payload into that damaged Chimera. What are you going for first?
So 2 Dark Lances to start.
2 Dark Lances. We've got a hit.
Did we? Because you're...
Oh no, -1. Yeah, no hits. No hits.
Then it's the Shatterfield. That's 3 shots. It's strength 7, AP -2, 1 damage.
So a couple of hits.
And then
4 to wound. 1 make it, 1 fail.
Wasn't in the tray.
So minus.
We get to reroll 1 wound from each.
Okay, so reroll the wound. So that's 2 wounds. So that becomes AP -1, so it becomes 4 ups. Make 1, fail 1.
1 damage.
1 damage. I've got 7 wounds left so far.
And then he's got a twin splinter rifle, which is going to be 2 poison shots.
1 hit. 1 wound.
That poison's coming in.
He's poisoning the tanks very well. And he gets it through as well. Jeez Louise. So I'm down to 6 wounds on that Chimera. Now, is the next plane going to continue the same thing, or do you have any other shots?
So I'm going to fire a blaster at him.
Blaster?
Oh, no, I can't. He raised a banner.
Okay.
Blaster from here.
Dark Lance even?
No. There's a squad inside.
Oh, okay. Have they got a range? Oh, it's 18-inch range, isn't it?
It's 24, sir.
Oh, okay, indeed. All right, so...
because of obsidian.
It is a miss.
Then the Dark Lance strapped to it.
Yeah. That's also a miss.
And then the next plane...
2 hits. Oh, it's fruity. 1 wound with a reroll. 1 wound. Nope. D3 plus 3.
Come on, roll high this time.
4. So I've got 2 wounds left on that Chimera. Now you've got some shatter missiles.
And this guy's splinter cannon as well. 6.
Okay.
Right, come on.
Hit on 4s. Okay, we've got 3 hits. 3 hits.
Wounding on 4s.
Wounding on 4s. That's 2 wounds. I only have 2 wounds left.
AP -2.
4 ups. I literally haven't made a save. There's nothing I can do about that. Do I explode? Explosion! No, that would have been nice for an arm save there. Okay, so the Chimera is going to die. We'll work out how many men fall out and break their legs. And then is that pretty much your shooting? Little bits of scattered stuff left after that?
That is it, to be fair.
Okay, so lost the Chimera first turn. That's kind of to be expected. And I'll get the men out, and then we'll be back with the assault phase. Mm-hmm. So the first charge of the Dark Elder charge phase is going to be the Clawed Fiends into the now disembarked infantry squad, 2 of which died on the way out. They need a 9-inch charge. It has been predetermined, and that is an 8. They will not make that charge. You're just going to wear that one.
I mean,
It's not.
I don't think I'll get the 9 on the reroll. So.
Yeah, that's fair
It
enough.
wasn't unlucky.
He was sort of just, if that presented itself, you could go for it. That was kind of it.
It's like a 6.
Now over here, it's a 7-inch if you are avoiding the overwatch from this vehicle or not charging it. Or you could have a much quicker charge if you want to go here. But he doesn't want a double heavy flame. So it's a 7-inch charge here. Now he is going to get that. Now Johnny we've already talked this through. He's going to try and use his fly move to hop over here and start getting people on this objective to reduce the number of objectives that I hold. Fine. So he just needs to make sure he stays an inch away from it. I think he should be able to hop round and circle around and stuff like that. But we'll move them in and we'll see where they are at the end of the charge phase. So the first thing we're going to roll is the grab talons from the bike. Is that a mortal wound, is it?
Yes, indeed.
Right. One of them has had his head snipped off like that scene in Starship Troopers when the hopper flies over.
It's 27 attack.
27, so we'll get those dice together. Okay, 28 attacks, including the sergeant, coming in. Let's see what he gets. That was a good to hit roll. Now let's see what the wounds are coming in.
6s because of Flensing Fury will auto kill.
They will auto kill. Just pull out my Harkonnen and Heart plug in one go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 auto kills.
That's pretty nice. Okay, we'll see what the rest of them are that aren't auto kills. All right, I've just got 4 guys left in that squad, and I've got this many dice that I need to roll 6s on. Nope, they are very dead. After the dust has settled, the Reavers have swooped in. They have managed to annihilate that infantry squad. The platoon commander's just hiding out in there. They're all just about an inch away from him. And then they have managed to cram about 5 people on top of that little bit of light cover, which is great for the Reavers. Gives them that extra bit pip of save. So there we go. So that is the Dark Elder turn 1. They lost a lot of bikes, but in return they killed a Chimera and an infantry squad. And they've done a bit of other damage. Not too bad. Let's see how the guard can counterattack.
Oh yeah. So people know what I was thinking.
Of course, of course.
Scholar cam here. Scholar cam here. The aim was to take these guys out.
Yeah.
The reason why I targeted these infantry was because I wanted to have, say, 3 bikes on there versus your 2 tanks, so you would have started with 1 objective.
But denied me 4 points.
Because this didn't come out. It is what it is.
Slightly over successful. You kind of wish that I'd had a Chimera left on like a wound or there or something.
No, because you need to get the dudes out.
Ah, of course, yeah.
It just is what it is.
Yeah, of course.
Didn't pan out.
Okay, so that is a decent turn by both sides. We're going to go into turn 2. Now, the Guard scored 5 victory points in the first round, 2 for Special Orders and 1 for Inflexible Command. 3 Flexible Command, I should say. Now we're going to score some points for Boots on the Ground, but starting on Primary, we are going to start with 8. Now, I should mention, Johnny, you actually did score some tertiary points then, because you get 1 point to a maximum of 3 for each unit you killed. So you actually scored 2 tertiary points there, whereas I haven't scored any so far. So not bad. The points are fairly neck and neck. Let's see how the turn 2 pans out for both sides. So the Imperial line has moved forward and sort of consolidated the games. We've not been as aggressive as we were turn 1. We've brought up this Chimera that was holding the centre round here, and we've got the infantry squads in there. And I was debating getting the infantry squads out here, but I figured if I get them out, the witches are just going to tear them apart. I'd rather stay safe for a turn, let the witches, go into some metal boxes for a turn or 2. And then over here, I've kept this Demarcher stock staring still. Is that even a word it is now? Stock staring still. And he has just repaired a wound with jury-rigged repairs because you can't move him and repair him. Over here, I've got one of the infantry squads out here, and the one that was forced to disembark last turn is doing special orders on that objective. The reason I've done that is there aren't any witches over here, so I'm kind of hoping that I can, clear this flank out a little bit more and not have to worry about combat as much, and should have enough bodies, 21 bodies, including the platoon commander, holding that objective. The Manticore move forward a little bit to put a toe on the objective. The tank commanders move so they can now, they are in the cover so they can be seen, but they can also see out. And that is my movement phase. Obviously no psychic. Orders and shooting phase, we'll just do that in just a moment. So orders, this tank commander is going to tell himself to reroll 1s to hit. So is this tank commander. I've also spent a CP for Inspired Tactics, so he's telling the Manticore to do it. Also, the platoon commander here is going to tell the mortars to do reroll 1s to hit. That is take aim. This tank commander is telling himself to do reroll 1s to hit, and then the platoon commander in there is telling the squad at the front there to do first rank fire, second rank fire. So we've got all our orders off. Now it's time to roll some dice and try and kill some Dark Elves. They always go off, that's true. It's because back in old editions you had to like roll for it, so I'm always like, the orders have gone off.
Yeah.
Yay!
I reckon in the new guard codex you're gonna lose the ability to order yourself.
I think
and you'll have to have and nothing will change because I'll have 3 tank commanders in a triangle going, you can do it, bro.
Yeah.
I believe in you, bro.
Oh, thanks, bro. I think we're losing move. No more move.
Who knows? I don't follow the rumours on any level. That is pure pulled out my bumhole speculation.
Yeah, that's true. Half-Life be confirmed. Anyway.
Half-Life be confirmed.
All right, let's see what the guard could do with some shooting. So this Demolisher is going to fire everything into this bike squad. Johnny has spent 2 CP for hyper stim, backlash, lashback, whatever it is, and that means they're now up to 6. Cashback. But that means that he doesn't have -1 to hit on them though, which is interesting.
He's got flamers, bro.
But he's got flamers, which means my flamers now wound him on 5s rather than 4s, so it's pretty good. So we'll get the dice together and we'll see what damage this Demolisher can do. Slight addendum, I'm going to be doing this Demolisher exactly the same thing, and John's doing the exact same thing over here, just because this guy's got a little bit better options for line of sight when it comes to raids and stuff. So, number of shots per time the Demolisher kind of fires, minimum of 3 each time here. I'm going to re-roll that 1 because there's no disadvantage in doing so. It becomes a 2, it becomes a 3, so that is 9 shots from the Demolisher cannon. So, that is 4... I think that's 9 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Reroll the 1, so no. So that is 1 hammer of the Emperor. And then we've got 6 other hits. And these are winning on 3s now. Oh, it's a terrible roll. That is just 3 wounds. Now those do go straight through, even with the cover save, because of AP -3. So the first one...
Well, I always get a 6.
You always get a 6. Okay, well the first one does 6 damage.
Okay, well, I'll do
You might as well do your 3 saves at the same time, yeah.
Well, okay, but...
Yeah.
Gonna pass that
you suppose you have to do it 1 at a time, don't you? Yeah, do 1 at a time. Do your save for 6.
You'll just have to re-roll that.
It doesn't matter anyway. So first one dies, second one dies, third one dies. So that's 3 bikes dead. And then just whilst we've got the camera on, how many shots do Heavy Flamers get? They're going to get 11 shots. I'll re-roll the 1 because of my regiment trait, and that becomes 12 shots. So we'll get those dice together, and then we'll be back in just a moment. All right, so these are now wounding on 5s. They auto hit, but they're wounding on 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4 more wounds on those Dark Elder bikes. So that means you will need 4 saves of 4+, because you're in the light cover. Oh. Not great, so that means 1.5 bikes going to die. That's a total of 4.5 bikes, which have gone so far. Not bad from the first Demolisher. I think we are going to have to fire the second Demolisher into them as well, though. All right, second Demolisher coming in here. Number of shots, a 3 and a 4. There's literally no point in not re-rolling that 3. Oh, is there, though? No, there's only 5 in the squad now, so I'm going to keep that because I don't want to roll it and get lower. Almost made a schoolboy error there. Also, just realised I've got a heavy stubber on the last tank as well that I didn't fire, but we'll come back to that in a moment.
The shackles.
Yeah, exactly. Shackles not heckles, boys. Yeah, anyway, exactly. Let's go for the hits. So that's that many hits. No Hammer of the Emperors today.
Wow. Sorry, let me just take a second to appreciate the fact that you didn't auto with me with a single dice. That never happened.
Yeah, I do get 4 wounds. I should have done the Flamers first for the damage. Foolish, stupid, fat hobbit. Anyway, so the first one's going to... so you get 4 6-up invulnerable saves.
I would like to make an invulnerable save now.
Okay. You've made 1. Okay, so take 1 out. So one of these is just going to kill the 1 wound guy.
Okay.
And then the next one doesn't. Am I going to use my CP here? I am going to use my CP reroll here. That gets me another kill. So that's 2 bikes dead, 3 bikes dead in total. There are 2 left. Yeah, there should be 2 left.
It's 2 full health ones.
2 full health ones. And then we've
Blaster and the Sergeant.
Okay, then we've got the Flamers, and that is going to be 14 shots from the Flamers. So we'll get those dice together and we'll be back in just a moment. So here's the auto-hitting Flamers. Now let's see how many wounds we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds. 6 wounds at a -1. You are in the cover, so that becomes a -0. So that will be 4 ups.
I have to be extremely lucky. Well, a little bit lucky, actually. In fact, I should be fine.
Yeah. Exactly. So you've got one dude left on a wound.
I think I'll keep...
Now then,
I think they're probably going to run away. I'll keep the sergeant just in case.
No worries. Now, dear viewer, I have two heavy stubbers here. One from the first Lehman Russ and one from the second one. When I was doing my list overview, just a slight amendment to it, I realised I was 20 points under. So rather than messing around too much, I just slapped a heavy stubber on the two tank commands and left 5 points off just to be quick. Okay. So these are the two heavy stubbers. So we need to re-roll those 2 1s. No Hammer of the Emperors just yet. Redo it here. Nope. And then we're going to need 5s. Nothing. No. Daka, 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 daka. Nothing from the heavy stubbers. That is a shame. All right. We will be back with some more guard shooting. So at the end of the guard turn 2, we decided to do all the remaining shooting off camera. I didn't have any charges. We did it off camera because it was lots of like flamers and las gunner raids, so that just little bits here and there. Little bits. So what happened is this manticore here fired into the remaining bike over here and just managed. It was so close. I got 1 wound through. It's just so many poor saves. If I'd had a basilisk, I could have used Aeros Boss and had 4 rolls to hit, but I didn't. So just last turn I loved my manticores. This turn they reminded me why I don't like manticores anymore. Just too swingy. This tank commander.
You have to put your mortars into them as well.
Yeah, because the manticores failed, I had to put the mortars in there as well. This tank commander wiped out the Clawed Fiend squad that was here. All the little bits that were here, not the squad that was doing the action. Wiped out the other Clawed Fiend squads. So we got both Clawed Fiend squads. We got the bike squads, and then everything else fired into this raider, and we just boiled it, but we didn't quite kill it. But it has got 2 wounds left. It was really swingy, like some of the dice rolls. Like Johnny was sometimes making like 4 out of 4 5+ invulnerables. And
sometimes I'd get none.
And then sometimes you got none 4+ saves from the last gunner raise.
Sometimes you were getting like 6 Hammer of the Anvil. Sometimes you were getting
0,
which barely happened. It was a very swingy turn.
It was a very swingy turn for the guy. But overall, we've done all right. We've killed 3 enemy units. We've got more inflexible command. We've got more boots on the ground, and we've got some more special orders because we've done special orders on 2 objectives now. So it's going all right for the guard. But now we're going to go into the Dark Elder turn. They're going to start with 3 victory points because of the banners, and that's not bad at all. But we have killed a decent amount of the Drukhari combat potential. If we can hold on against these witches, we might have a chance. But we're going to see. We've obviously had an extra turn. We'll have to see what the Dark Elder can do in their turn 2. So the Dark Elder have done the classic Tricksy Elder maneuver, and they've totally swapped over the focus of their flanks. I thought that my right flank was in a really good position, but now there's 2 planes that have come over here, and the witches have disembarked from these raiders and have run over here with some fantastic advance rolls because they can advance and charge this turn, which is pretty nice. So what I thought was my secure flank is actually my insecure flank. Oh yeah, John forgot to move his little Beastmaster guy there as well. We've then also got these 2 raiders over here. Now, the squad of witches that was back there has hopped inside that raider, and the squad of witches that was inside that raider has hopped out over there. So now this flank is looking like my secure flank. It's all just too much to handle. Anyway, we've also had the succubus that was inside one of the raiders run out past this wall here. So obviously because they're breachable, they can just go straight through. My Panzer line did nothing, and she's jumped over here. Obviously she's looking to try and tie up some tanks and stuff like that. Depends what she gets. All right, so that is the Dark Elder movement phase. We'll be going into their psychic phase. Done. And then we'll be going into their shooting phase now.
I made a mistake during the filming because this guy's Animus Vitae, and he has the +1 ballistic skill, so then he makes sure he hits, so it's 2.
Okay.
Sorry,
that's fine.
I forgot to mention that.
So we'll go into a shooting phase in just a moment. Okay, so we're going to start with Mr. Animus Vitae himself, and he is going to try and get a hit. And he does, I believe. So that means that everyone within 6 inches gets to do the advance and charge, but now also hits a little bit better as well.
Yeah, I'm on so I move up 1 rank of the power from pain, and that means that I'll be hitting on 2s across the army.
I think it's for stuff that's in range of Animus Vitae, isn't it? I don't know exactly how it works.
Army.
We'll double check the rules, and then we'll be back in a moment. So we've double checked and it is the whole army jumps up for a turn, which is pretty nice. And it also does D3 mortal wounds. So on the Chimera. So how many mortal wounds? Oh, it's the big 3. Strong start for Dark Elder. That Chimera is down to 7 wounds. And everyone is now an extra power on the Power of Pain. All right. Do you know where you're going to start your shooting, or do you want to have a little think?
I am going to start. Yes, I know what I'm going to do initially.
Okay.
So this blaster from those Drukhari, they've got 24 inch range because they're obsidian rows.
Yeah.
So I'm going to shoot at this guy, try and pop him open.
Okay.
So I miss.
Miss, yeah.
And then I'll just fire the splinter cannon. I'll wait. I'll think.
Okay, so that was the first blaster, and we're back in just a moment. So starting with this Witch Squad blast pistol, it's going to be hitting on a 3 because they are in the dense. They do get a hit. It's going to be wounding on a 3. No, hasn't quite made it. You do have 1 CP?
I'm not going to waste.
Not yet, not yet. Okay, we've got another blast pistol.
Well, I'll do the.
Oh, the plasma grenades and stuff,
yeah,
of course.
So 5 shots.
5 shots with the plasma grenade.
I'll just reroll that.
Yes, of course. 4 hits there. I'll get a slightly better angle. No wounds.
And then 3 splinters, doesn't really matter, but it's there. 3 hits, need a 6. Oh, the splinter is doing it for me.
Who needs anti-tank when you've got splinter weapons? Am I right, boys?
Yeah.
All right, 2 3-ups. Hey, I finally made it for once.
Okay, next Witch Squad doing the same. Blast pistol hits.
Gets the hit.
Does wound
Gets
this
the
time,
wound.
so that'll be a 6-up for you.
6 up. Come on, Emperor. Nope, not
D6.
today.
Come on, give me something
D6.
more than a 2.
It is more than a 2, which puts me down to 2 wounds left. Okay, do you know what you're doing next? Oh, grenade. Oh, grenade.
All of that.
Grenade.
So
2 grenade shots. 1 hit. No wound.
3 splinters. This could do it.
This could do it. 2 hits.
I'm wasting the 6s.
No wounds, not today. Okay, so that is the 2 Witch Squads. You've now got a couple of Raiders over here.
This guy's splinter cannon.
Okay, we're doing the squad. Not the squad this time. We are doing the vehicle itself.
So splinter cannon.
Yes.
Oh, I think it's 2 shots.
Okay,
Sorry,
just do 1 hit because you got
I got 2 out of 3.
Yeah, but you technically you got 2 out of 3. Yeah.
Okay. Let me check 1 second. It's heavy 3, so I do get the same.
So 2 hits, wounding on 5s, I imagine. 6s, plasma.
Poison.
Okay, yeah, poison even, not plasma. No, either way, it was 2s.
And then splinter rifle. 1 hit. Nothing.
No wounds. Okay.
Just thought I'd try.
See, that's how poison is meant to do into vehicles. Not like last turn.
Witch squads.
Yes.
I have 1 succubus in here.
Okay.
So she's gonna fire her blast pistol, hitting on a 2.
Okay.
She hits.
Okay, she's got the hit. And she's got the wound. I could do with a 6 up now. Come on, Armor of Contempt. Come on, baby. No, not today. So yeah, and that's exactly what you needed. So do I explode? Probably don't want to, but explosion. Hey, that's probably going to get quite a lot. I mean, it's a 6-inch explosion, so it's going to get that, them, that. Maybe her, probably not him. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do this 1 at a time. So I'm going to roll for your Raider first. D3 mortal wounds. That's just the 1, so it's alive on a wound. We'll do the other Raider first. The next Raider, 3.
Second
even, words. And then we'll do the...
Panicking.
Then we'll do the Witch Squad. That's 2. Literally any other way around. So they've lost 2. And then we've got my Chimera here. Gets 3. And this Chimera here takes 2. Okay. And then could you just measure to her? I doubt she's in.
She's so not in.
But let's just confirm it for the camera.
Clutching at straws.
No, and then he's definitely not in as well. Okay, so not bad. I'll just mark those up, and then we'll get the squad out and see how many die.
Pistols. It looks like you've only got a couple of Dark Lancers there, but then they all start
slinging in the old blast pistols. All right, so we'll mark those up, get the guys out, and we'll see where we end up. So we're going to do these couple of Dark Lancers on camera, and then we're going to do the rest of shooting off camera. But this is the first Dark Lance hitting on a 5.
No.
Nope. And the next Dark Lance hitting on a 3. Yes. Wounding on a 4. Yes. 5 up save. No. Damage. That is 4 damage. All right.
Just 1 sec. You're on. I can't finish him, so that's all right. I'll wait for that.
Okay. So we'll be back once we've edited that, and then we'll do the rest of the shooting off camera. So we'll see where the Dark Elder finish once they've done the rest of their shooting. So after the dust had settled, the Chimera was finally cracked open. Everything pretty much went into it on this flank, and it was finally cracked open. And so a lot of the poison went into the infantry back here as well. So we've got a 3-man squad, and we've got a 3-man squad sort of coming across there: bolter, plasma, heavy bolter. And we've got another 3-man squad: bolter, plasma, heavy bolter. And then we've got a 10-man squad. The full squad got out without any issues, and we've got the platoon commander on there. But the Chimera did explode, so it did a wound here, did a couple of wounds to my infantry squads, and then it took 3 wounds off Drozar. It took 2 witches out. It did 2 wounds to that plane, did a wound to the Beastmaster, and killed a witch over here. So it's actually a pretty good explosion from the Chimera. We've had 2 Chimera explosions, and they've both done all right at softening up the Drukhari. So that is the end of the Drukhari shooting phase. Now let's go into the charge phase. So now we're in the charge phase. The Raider's going to charge into this squad of guardsmen. Johnny's going to try and slot it into that gap so it doesn't need to take overwatch from either one of these flamers. It is a something charge. That's probably not enough to get back here. So that's not enough there. Which squad's going to go in now?
They're in.
They're going to make it in. Oh, no, I'm not going to overwatch that. I'll overwatch with the tank commander. Whichever they could overwatch, that used to be a good rule.
Then I'll do, basically, these guys are going round, just hit the back squad and the leader there.
Okay. You got a 3. That won't be enough.
I've used my CP, so that's...
Just got to wear it.
Shit. Wonderful. These guys are going to go in there.
That'll make it in.
And then Drozar's
that's a 7, just so people can... I'm just not...
Drozar's going to go into the tank and the guys in front.
Okay.
And he
does make it. That was an 8
and
viewers.
This guy's going to go hop over and get that back squad there.
Okay, and that was a 4, which will not make it because you have to. You can't land it. So Drozar and the witches make it in there. The witch make it here. This lady here going for the charge.
I might go back here as everything else has gone to shit. It's not the omens are clear that this is not going to go well. You get on 6s to Overwatch, right?
I can hit on 5s thanks to defensive gunners, and I auto hit with my 3 heavy flamers. And
I'll go this way and attack. I'm not going to get rid of that. I could. I'm going to go for these 2 squads here.
Okay, I will overwatch with my Chimera.
Okay.
And I will spend the CP for that, and I'll spend another CP for defensive gunners for the las gunner raise.
Okay.
Okay, so you can roll your distance now. She gets a 9 viewer, so she'll definitely be in. And now I get a chance to try and burn the crap out of her. How many wounds does Succubus have these days?
6.
6 wounds is pretty tasty on such a slender young little miss. So we'll see what my Overwatch does. I'll tell you what, we'll do it on camera whilst we're here. So the Chimera double heavy flamer. Ooh, good job I can reroll both of those thanks to gunnery experts.
Both?
Yeah, because it's one weapon each. I only got an extra shot anyway. That's a shame. I was really hoping that was going to pick off. I do get 3 wounds though with the heavy flamer. 4 ups. She takes a wound. Las gonna raise. I'll do these 2 lots of 6 just because that's what I've got in my hand. So the first one gets a hit, an auto wound and a hit, and the second lot of 6 gets a... that's a drop dice, even though it was a 5. Gets another auto wound, so that's 2 auto wounds and then another regular hit. Is she toughness 3 because she's a witch?
Yeah.
That's 3 wounds on her. And she takes another wound. So she has taken 2 wounds, so she's got 4 left. Not bad. So, aware that I have the ability to interrupt, Johnny has decided to go with this squad here first. Now he gets 5 attacks per guy, so he's getting 11 attacks because of the sergeant, and he also gets the Hydra Gauntlets after this. He's hitting on 2s this time because of the Animus Vitae wounding. Strength 4. Okay. There's a few fails there.
Not ideal.
Okay, that's 5 saves.
2, so that's an auto kill.
So 1 is dead, and then 3 more dead. So 4 are dead in total. I'm just going to use this little counter there. So that's 4 there. Now, you get your Hydra Gauntlets as well.
5 attacks. 5 on 2s.
Very good.
Now, these will be wounding you on 2s because they're strength 6.
Okay. Any AP?
I think it's AP 2 off the top of my head. But
I'll roll it and see if I get any 6s. I got A6, so either I've lost 8 or I've lost 9.
I'll check for you.
Okay, we'll check off camera, guys, and we'll move those in a moment. I'm probably now going to interrupt with my last 2 CP. I know it's a ballsy maneuver, but if I can kill...
-2,
okay, so yeah, I lose 9. So if I can kill these witches with my 10-man squad, that would make a big, big difference. So I'm going to spend my last 2 CP, interrupt, and we'll see if the guardsman can pull it off. So this is the Brave Guardsman squad. It's got hitting the witches. I've got a hit on 4s and wound on 4s. I've got 4 wounds so far, 4 hits so far. That is, that's all right. Now I do have
Hammer of the Emperor on bayonets.
no Hammer of the Emperor on bayonets, but I do also have my Sergeant with the Power Sword after this. I've got 2 wounds. I've got 2 wounds. All right. 2 4-ups. He's failed one of them. He has lost a witch. That's a big deal. Every witch down is big. And then we've also got the Sergeant with the Power Sword. He's got 2 hits. Now he's going to wound you on 3s. He's got 2 wounds. Come on, Power Sword. Ah! Loses a witch. Now it's 5 attacks gone, viewers. So that is actually pretty big. All right. So now we'll do the rest of the Dark Elder combat. Who do you want to go with next?
So I'll go with why not? I'll hit back.
Witches and then Drozar, I imagine.
So 6
and a
attacks
succubus.
from the leader.
6 attacks from the leader. Couple of 1s there.
Unfortunate.
And then wounding on 3s, I imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, the mojo.
This flank's gone badly and the other flank's gone quite well.
I do fail my sailor. So I've lost Aman, and then you've got Hydra Gauntlets.
Oh, sorry, that was a drop.
That's all right. Oh my god.
This flank's absolutely
it's
all my charges.
You do kill 2 guardsmen.
Oh, I can re-roll that to wound.
Can you?
Oh, no.
No. He's getting his cold mixed up. It's all gone.
I kill one. That's
you killed 2 in total, so I'm going to lose that guy. And that's the last thing attacking, isn't it? So I'll take a wound off there. So I keep
that squad, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And there's nothing else that can attack that squad. So yeah, there we go.
Okay, Drozar.
Add that to the casualty pile this turn. Obviously, they're not alive, people. Drozar, where's he go? I can't interrupt, so you can have free reign here.
He's going to do his first rain of blows against the Chimera, and he's going to use his extra strength.
Okay.
Fewer attacks.
Okay, he's linking them together. Like Darth Maul, he's linking it together. Yeah.
And then in a stylish motion, he hopefully will be able to unclick it and sweep through those guardsmen as well.
Okay.
Right, okay, so it is 5 attacks.
Okay.
And he gets to reroll all, hit some wounds.
Even when it's not a character?
That's his warlord.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And then he's going to be wounding, so it's going to be 2s, I believe. What strength is he? So strength 4,
plus
5, 6. And then +1 to wound, so it's 4s.
Yeah.
And it's 2 wounds, re-rolling wounds, all of them.
Oh dear.
I'm having an awful... This is literally...
GG no re. Saves.
-3, 2 damage.
8 minus 3 becomes 8
3 damage, 8 minus 3.
So this becomes a 5-up. I do fail both, so I take 6 damage there.
So now what he'll do is he'll put... you've got 3 wounds left on that.
I have 3 wounds left.
2 attacks on that, and he'll put.
There's only 3 guardsmen left in that squad, so if you hit with everything, wound everything, you'll kill everything.
I'll put 3 on that squad.
Okay.
So reroll that.
Okay.
Yes.
Now killing on 2s.
Come on.
He's got 2 1s.
Reroll. Yes.
Okay, so he does get the 3 guardsmen because it's a heavy weapon team and whatnot. He's got 2 hits. No wounds. 1 wound.
+1 to... Oh, yeah, 1 wound.
1 wound. It's a 5-up save. Come on, Emperor. Come on, big Emperor.
3.
Yeah, it comes 8 minus 2 because I'm contempt. It becomes a 5-up. Yes! Yes, the Chimera lives! Yes, burn, Drozar, burn. Well, that's just like your opinion, man. So we have lost this full squad here. And obviously we lost a man or 2 from here as well. The Chimera will technically get to try and run Drozar over. We'll do that off camera because it's only going to be like an attack. But that is that. Oh yeah, the succubus. So might as well do the succubus on camera because, you know, might as well go for one big cut.
I have essentially taken that objective. But
you have essentially taken
it. That open, then you'll be able to...
Spill men out onto it. But you have to attack, you haven't got a choice.
Yeah, well, I'm going to... I can't hit that guy.
You can't hit that guy. I really want you to crack that tank open. I don't think I've ever said this before, but please destroy my unit.
Right, so 6 is a 3 mortal wounds.
Yeah.
So it's taken.
A lot of
6.
Sorry, I just thought it through my
And then these are wound on 6s, I believe.
Only 6s?
It's poison.
Oh, controversial. Okay, you've done remarkably well there. What's the AP?
-3, I believe, off the top of my head.
Okay, I'll roll the saves. And then what damage is this?
3.
So I don't want to make any of these, is what you're telling me.
I'm going to check.
I don't want to make any of these. Let's see. Oh no! I might have made one. What's the AP?
You just have to cut and come back.
All right, well, we'll come back in a moment. Hold your horses, honey. I got vouchers for the Pringles. This cameo actually did die because it took some more wounds when the other one exploded. So it has actually died. We did my various small attacks back. This base failed to do any wounds to the witches. And likewise, I failed to do any wounds to Drozart with the Chimera over there. Not a bad turn for the Dark Elder. They have now killed in total 5 vehicles. That is 10 victory points for them. However, they have failed in their roll to take off any of my objectives from me. I actually still managed to keep this one with all the bodies that are piled on it. So glad that I moved that Chimera over there for reinforcements. And I also was able to keep my this objective over here as well. Now, I am looking a bit thin on the ground when it comes to infantry. I start with 60 and I must have, barely 20 left. But I technically do have 4 squads left. But, that's like a dude left here and a couple of dudes left over here. So there's not many left at all. But I do have some forces left. Now, the thing is, though, I've got to try and finish off, in my turn, I've got to try and finish off these raiders. They have taken some damage. I've got to try and clear out the infantry. I think if I can clear out the remaining Dark Elder combat potential, then there's a good chance that I'll be able to win the long-term firefight. We'll see how it goes, viewers. But that was the end of Dark Elder turn 2. They've got a total of 10 points on Bring It Down. They've got some banners as well. And they also will have scored some primary victory points and some tertiary as well. So both sides having a good turn 2 for scoring and damage. But let's see if the Guard can now pull it back in their turn 3. Let's see if we can clear up these witches. So I had a conservative movement phase for Guard turn 3. I did think about being a bit more aggressive. I thought I just got to clear these lines. And then I've got turn 4 and turn 5 to do what I need to do. So what I've done over here is I've hopped the missile guy in there. And then the platoon commander has jumped out. And then the Chimera here did fall back from Drozar. I did think about Burn Baby burning him. He's on a 2-up save. And if I don't fall back, it means the Chimera's got to do it on its own, which I think is kind of unlikely.
If you have all your flamer screening, it's a different story.
Yeah.
But
If there were 2 Chimeras in there, I think they could do it. If it was 3 heavy flamers on a Lemur Rust Demolisher, I think he could do it. But as it is, I just don't think that 2 heavy flamers is going to do it. Even if I hop someone in for the lad's going to raise, I just
love the mental imagery of one guy just popping off like 12 just like
yeah, he's just running from one to one. He's not even aiming.
He's just leaning like
It's like the gun from The Simpsons where Mo turns one gun into 5 guns.
He pulls out
lowers a string.
Pulls out a little bit of thread. Ties it around all the triggers and he's just like pulling.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who fucking knows, man?
He's doing it somehow.
It's some sort. It's obviously not AI because we don't like AI.
Medal for the guy who can fire 12 last guns simultaneously.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is my movement phase. Obviously, there's no psychic, and in shooting, my plan is I want to clear away the flank here and hopefully do some damage over here as well. And then really, I just want to clear away Drozar, the witches, and the Beastmaster here. If I can do that, then I think that's the vast majority of the Dark Elder combat potential down. I'm kind of okay if I can get into a firefight with the Dark Elder, because Guard like firefights. So we shall see how it goes. That is my movement. That is my plan. Let's see if it goes off. We'll go straight into the shooting phase. So this Chimera is going to go first. We're going to put the lad's going to raise into the 3 witches, and we are going to put the heavy flamer into the 1 wound raider. So let's see what the lad's going to raise can do first. We've got 3 auto wounds on the witches, Hammer of the Emperor, baby. And then we've got 3 other hits. And then we have got to wound. Now these will be wounding on 4s because las guns. That's 2 more wounds. That is 5 wounds on those witches. And unfortunately, they only get a 6-up invulnerable save against shooting attacks. So that is the 3 witches that have gone down there. Succubus is left over. We have measured it. It is in range of the Demolisher Cannon's heavy flamers. And then we're going to have the first lot of heavy flame is going to be from this Chimera into the 1 wound raider over here. Going to reroll the 1. A 1 into a 1, not ideal. But to be fair, this Chimera's kind of done its job. And no wounds. Fair enough. That's kind of what we want. You know, we weren't expecting much from that Chimera.
What you expected.
Exactly. So now we're going to fire the heavy flamers and the heavy stubber into the witch leader here. So
Where's the cannon going?
The cannon.
See this one.
The cannon will go into this one. Okay. So we're going to roll the number of shots for the heavy flamer. Reroll the 1. There we go. So that's 14 into the succubus.
All there.
That I should need 2 more. All right. Okay. Now this will be wounding on 3s. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wounds on a 4-up invulnerable save on the succubus of death. Okay. She is gone. Even with a reroll, she is gone. So it's like, yeah, like, doesn't even matter. Like, she's dancing, she's dodge, duck, dip, diving and dodging, sir. Doesn't matter, son.
The heavy flame spam is grim because you've already got so many, however many tanks have killed you.
Well, this is it. A lot of people on like Discord and stuff that are on the MG Discord are saying, I prefer multi-melters. Yeah, multi-melters are good, but it makes your tank 250 points, which is fucking eye-watering. And sometimes you just need heavy flamers. I'm a big fan of I'm a cult of the heavy flamer, man. The Demolisher Cannon going into this raider here. Number of shots. Reroll the 1. Oh, yes. Whoa. Beastie. All right, so that's 6. That's 8. That's 10.
Don't roll anything yet.
You thinking of going -1 to hit?
I think it's the only thing that, like, what else are you going to shoot your other Demolisher Cannon at?
Well, the Demolisher Cannon is probably going to land on Drozar's head.
Wait a minute, you're shooting through this corner anyway.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it'd be -1.
It's -1 already.
Okay. Okay, so we've got a Hammer of the Emperor, miss, and a miss, and a miss. And then we've got 3 rerolls.
You've rerolled your Hammer of the Emperor?
No, my Hammer of the Emperor's here.
You rolled 4 dice then?
Yeah, I had 4 ones.
So you have 3 ones, you just said I've got 3.
I just miscounted. I need to wound you now. And that is a total of 6 wounds on the raider. That's 6 5-up invulnerable saves.
I feel like we lost track of the math somewhere along there, but whatever.
I think I often say words that aren't actually what is happening.
So 3 went through.
3 went through. So the first one, and let you get the dice out of the way. First one does 2 damage. Second one does 2 damage. Third one does 3 damage. That is a total of 7 damage. It's going to be left alive on... no, it took 3 mortal wounds, that one. And that one, because remember when we discussed this last turn, because the witches only took 2.
Gone, yeah,
so it's just gone. Just gone, definitely on 7. So does it explode? Hey, it takes the other one with it.
I think
you might be in range of here, but we'll check that out in a moment.
I'll see what I would get. 3, we'll measure out.
Okay, yeah. Measure a sheep within 6 inches. No,
hair out.
Just out. And there's anyone inside?
But, this one has people inside. This one does not. So
okay.
I'll just roll to see if that one explodes.
No. So we got both raiders. That's big. 1 shot, 2 kills.
That's a bit annoying.
We'll roll the casualties and stuff off camera. We just know that there's some to be taken.
There's 6 guys. It's easy enough.
Okay.
All ones, I'm sure. No,
just one
witch.
Just 1. Okay. Okay. So now we've got the stuff over here. So that was a big hit. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the rest of the guard shooting off camera, and we'll see if we manage to clear this flank as well. End of the guard shooting phase. It was pretty brutal. You did obviously see that we took these raiders out here, and this last witch was also after some sort of scattered firepower over here. This last witch, there was 1 witch left, and she ran away thanks to morale. And then I also fired a manticore over at the succubus because there was just 1 witch screening her for lookout, sir. And I got 2 hits, 2 wounds. I was like, yes, Johnny, just failed his 2 or 4 up invulnerable saves, and he passed both. I could have squashed the succubus over there. It was 6s all around. 6s for me, 6s for you, 6s for everyone. Over here, it was a little dicey, but we managed to get it. We picked up both witch squads using a combination of mortars and las guns and flamers and stubbers. The Beastmaster Alder was picked up using triple heavy flame and has absolutely toasted him.
Triple six.
Triple six, yeah, triple six on the Flamer, man. Second character that I've just absolutely toasted. It doesn't matter how dancy and tricksy and fast they are. You just hose the whole area down. It's fire. Yeah, exactly. And then Drozar got squashed by another Manticore. So Manticore's, targeting characters this turn. And then the Demolisher flattened the Raider back there, killing it. Didn't blow it up. And was able to kill a Cabalite Warrior from each squad as they fell out. And last but not least, we did a couple of wounds to that plane with the Heavy Bolter from one of the Manticores. So overall, we've had a really good turn. We've cleared out every bit of combat potential the Dark Elder have got, except for a single Succubus. They've got two. We've killed all the Raiders. So they've got 2 planes, about 15 Cabalites left, a Venom, and a Succubus. But my infantry screening is looking a bit dicey as well here. I could start losing the ability to hold objectives. We'll see what we do. Dark Elder will gain their banners and they will gain their primary points as well. So we're killing stuff, but we're not denying them points at the moment. Let's see what Dark Elder can do going into their turn 3. So it was a rapid fire Dark Elder turn. We did it as a summary turn. So the planes came over here and were able to blow up that Chimera. That allowed the Succubus and the various supporting firepower from the Cabalites and the Venom to
Obsidian Rose plus 6.
Yeah, it's made a huge difference. And so he cleared out the squad there, and the Succubus charged into platoon commander, and there was a missile launcher guy left and just tore them limb from limb. Over here, we lost the Chimera as well, but we were able to cling on and hold that objective because we used a CP.
If it failed one, yeah.
If it failed one more save, but I used a CP for take cover, which gives me +1 to my armor save, and then I use a CP reroll, and that allowed me to cling on that objective.
My entire game, all I've tried to do is just knock you down on primaries for one turn. I've been like a hair away every single turn.
Yeah, it's been
close. I don't know what the points are, but
it's been very close. So that is the end of the Dark Elder turn. Rapid fire turn 4. We're getting down to the scraps here. It's been an absolutely brutal game. So now we need to do a Guard turn 4, and we'll see what we can do.
Turn 3.
That was Dark Elder turn 3. Now we're on to Guard turn 4. It's getting really close. The Guard are doing everything they can to try and secure this objective.
Like, can I say, because it's exciting?
Yeah, go on then.
You started off shooting this plane, blew it up, and then it was like, what am I doing? I need to take people off these objectives.
Yeah.
And then he started firing and stuff, and he managed to kill the Succubus off, but a few more nice invent saves, that 4-up invent.
Yeah.
And he had to put more fire in than he wanted to. So he just had enough to take this objective, just enough. But I'm still on 2.
It's still on 2. Yeah, so that, at the end of the Guard turn, we managed to kill all the Cabalites over here. We've killed one on the plane, we've killed one Succubus. So literally, Johnny's basically got like sort of one plane, and then he really needs to like hide with these units, because if he doesn't, I'm going to take them off him, take those units off with my like demolishers and stuff. So it's going to be a really, really close game. It's coming down to the wire, but we've killed the Succubus, we've killed the plane, we've killed most of the Cabalites. We're doing pretty well on our points. Let's see what the Guard can do going into their... the Dark Elder can do going into their turn 4. And I think we'll probably have a turn 5 combined summary, because it's going to be pretty close. So end of the Dark Elder turn, they've really not got much left now. But Johnny very cleverly brought his plane over here in order to be able to pick the mortars up there, which will deny my ability to rain hell down on these Cabalites. Speaking of these Cabalites, they fell back onto this objective, which means it's going to be difficult for me to take that off them. And then they also moved this Venom onto this objective here. And that was it. That was the whole of the Dark Elder turn 4. Going into Guard turn 5... we're going to get 8 for the primary. We might pick up another unit here or there, but let's see what the Guard can do going into their turn 5. So we've done an overall summary of turn 5 because it was really, really quick, guys. Honestly, we just moved the models around, rolled a handful of dice, and that was basically the outcome of the game. I mean, Johnny's turn 5 literally took 30 seconds. One movement phase, one bit of shooting, done. All right, and mine was pretty similar to that. So in the Guard turn 5, what happened was the Leman Russ that was here moved out, and then moved and advanced, and then full throttled onto this objective, which took the banner down off Johnny and gave the objective over to me. I wasn't able to hold this objective as well, unfortunately, but I did have the Manticore and the platoon commander on this objective over here. Then the Leman Russ that was here came over and just picked that plane out of the sky, just absolutely just blew it to pieces. It just wasn't even close, man. I have to say, Demartian cannons have just been on form this game. Everything that they've shot at, they have deleted, and it's been really, really good. I've only had 3 of them as well. We then had the lone gunman that was here, that was hiding here, move onto that objective. I tore that banner down, and I also held that objective. That was it. That was my turn. Okay. Yeah, maybe I could have, moved a bit more onto that objective or whatever, but we were just sort of moving the game around pretty quickly. Then in the Dark Elder turn, what happened is Johnny literally kept these Kabalites here, and then he also moved the Venom over to here, shot the Lone Ranger that was on the objective, and took that objective back. If I'd been a little bit clever about it, I probably could have spent a CP to do full throttle on this Manticore and maybe, held that objective and contested it, which would deny Johnny 4 points. But, it is what it is. That's not what I did, and so I've got to wear it. And let me tell you guys, the final score is really, really close. So both sides, on primary points, both sides scored 42 primary points. Okay, so it was neck and neck. The Dark Elder obviously initially scored more of those sort of tertiary points, but then in the last turn, so they really struggled to pick them up, whereas the Guard had a really solid turn 2, turn 3, turn 4 when it came to sort of killing units and earning those extra tertiary points for the primary. Then it came down to secondaries, and I was able, thanks to being able to, in my turn 5, move the infantry guy onto there and then do special orders. And I was able to do that with the platoon commander. I could have easily moved this platoon squad over here as well, but we were just doing it quickly. So we moved that. So we moved those guys onto that objective. I did special orders, and that meant that I got another 5 victory point special orders because I did it on 3 objectives, which gave me 10 victory point special orders. I then also was able to get boots on the ground, and I was able to achieve that for 10 victory points as well. So that means I got a total of 10 on special orders, 10 on boots on the ground, and then through flexible command, I easily maxed that out. And got 15 points on that, which meant I got 35 secondary points. Not bad, respectable amount. I scored more than 10 in every single one. Then it came over to the Drukhari. And Johnny was able to get 14 on Bring It Down. He's killed 7 out of the 11 vehicles. He's got 14 points on Bring It Down. He was then able to score 12 points on banners. Didn't quite max it. Me tearing down the banner over there, turn 4, and me tearing down the banner over here, turn 5, meant that he lost overall 3 victory points on banners, despite the fact that having banners up on those objectives nearly the whole game. But he did manage to get 12 victory points on it. However, the one that he really struggled with was Herd the Prey. He only got 8 victory points on Herd the Prey. He got 2 in turns 1, 2, and 3 because he was just keeping me out of these 2 table quarters. But turn 4, I had the Lone Ranger down there, which meant that he didn't get it for turn 4. And then turn 5, I had my tank commander here, which meant that he only got 1 point for Herd the Prey in both of those turns. And that meant that he only got 8 for Herd the Prey. And that meant that the final secondary score for the Dark Elder was 34. That means that the Guard have managed to clinch the victory by a single point. A single point has seen the Guard see off the vile Dark Elder. And I have to say, it's been an absolutely fantastic game. It's been really, really close. Johnny played an amazing game. Going into that, he was very much up against the wall with all the heavy flamers and the Demarchicans and the Manticores. This mechanized list is really, really strong. I've taken it to tournaments. It's done well. It's taken on everything. And it's now taken on Dark Elder. And it's just managed to pip it by a single point. I think that's the first time that I've beaten Dark Elder in 9th edition, man. I think that's the first time. And I think that goes to show how far Guard have come and how much Dark Elder have been sort of, balanced out a little bit, because they were ridiculous at the beginning of 9th. But yeah, overall, really, really strong result for the Guard. Really good performance by the Dark Elder. I said to Johnny said, when we were having like a little pre-game preamble, Johnny did say to me, I think I'm just going to get absolutely smashing this game. And I said, you are going to lose 95% of your army, but you have a very good chance of getting the win. Now, obviously, it didn't quite pan out this time, but that's exactly how it went. That's how it goes when you play Guard. Be prepared to lose the vast majority of your army, but be prepared to score really, really highly. I mean, at the end of the day, Johnny literally has 5 Cabalites and a Venom left over. That's his whole army. That's like less than 200 points. 150 points? And I've got 2 tank commanders, 2 manticores, and an 2 officers, and a handful of infantry. That's what, like, the 2 tank commanders are about 450 points. 2 manticores, 100, 300 points, 700 points. I've got about 750, 800 points left over, and I've only just managed to win by a single point. So that just goes to show you, like, that's sort of how it goes with Guard in 9th edition at the moment. Hope you guys have really enjoyed today's game. If you have, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss an episode. We're always doing battle reports. You get a battle report every single weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. And of course, there's regular episodes as well if you want to see more Guard tactics videos and stuff like that. If you've really enjoyed today's video and you want to see more content like this, then please consider going the extra mile and subscribing to the channel as a channel member. That gets you into the Board and Glory Discord and all that kind of good stuff. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. And of course, as always, I'll see you guys next time.